welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. It's time for our Spend with TMS segment. And yesterday was the special Time Flies event conducted by Apple. And this, of course, is the one event that all the Apple fans world over watch out for. But guess what? This event was different because not just because it was conducted virtually, but also because there was no iPhone 12 launched at the event. Instead, we saw watches, iPad Air, and a couple of other services as well, like the Apple One plan. But along with that, we've got a whole host of new phones as well that are being launched. For example, we have a new one coming in from Oppo Reno, which is something that will perhaps appeal to a lot of cricketing fans because they're calling it the MS Dhoni Special Edition. We also do have the new Poco X3 launch. So all of that will be reviewed. We have with us Nikhil from the Unbiased blog. Nikhil, it's always a pleasure having you with us, and I'm sure you as well had your eyes peeled out for the Apple event that took place. So what exactly caught your eye? I'm sure you may be knowing better than me that perhaps it was expected that there's going to be no iPhone 12 announced, but I guess that is something that at least caught my eye as a layperson to technology and Apple.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all wanted and expected iPhones to come, but we all in our hearts, we knew that iPhone 12 is not coming yet. It'll be a bit delayed, a few weeks maybe, or maybe in October we should see it. And that should not miss the festive season bandwagon in India or international markets, because it'll be well in time for that, be it November or December, it'll be well in time for that. So no comms on that. Yes, four great products. In fact, two Apple Watches and two iPads. But what caught my eye is Apple, announced a big deal. Apart from the services and the product they announced that they'll be going carbon neutral by 2030, which is a great deal as a company that is so huge, with 2 trillion of turnover, deciding to go carbon neutral by 2030 is a big deal. And also, the exclusion of chargers and wires from the Apple Watch packaging. That means maybe the future iPhones won't even have that. So we should be prepared for that. But it's a great move. There were two sides to that story. Again, people were like, what will we do without a charger in the box? But then again, most of the people who are upgrading would already have the charger at home and they can save that money. If you don't have it, you can obviously buy it from the market. So two great decisions apart from what all products and services they announced. Of course, I'm really excited about both these, the iPad Air and the Watch 6. But I would like to point out the two great products that will be game changers as they will democratize Apple's hold even further. The Apple Watch SE, which will be under 30 grand, and the iPad 8th generation, which will be again under 30 grand. So these two products will be for the masses. Of course, as a geek, I would love to have my hands on the latest and the greatest Apple Watch 6 Series 6 and the iPad Air. But then these two products are what you should be watching for, because already Apple Watch has 55% market share. And I think with the Apple Watch SE, that's going to go to 75 or 80%, because, under 30 grand. And the pricing, also Fitness Plus coming in soon, which will be like your gym at home. You don't need anybody. You can also, watch videos, work out with the trainers, and also at the same time see real-time information on the screen while you're working out. So great announcements yesterday. I mean, we were all up and watching them and super excited about when the products come into our hands.
Okay, Nikhil, a question on the watch. There's the Apple Watch Series 6 and of course, like you mentioned, the affordable segment as well, SE, which is under 30,000 rupees. With cellular, it comes to roughly about 34,000 rupees. But again, no charger. And this has been my biggest complaint with Apple as well. You usually have to rely on old chargers that then you just have to, shell out extra cash and buy a new one. This is the same, what you mentioned with Apple Watch as well. So it does tend, it always, again, is a little on the pricier side. We have so many other cellular watches as well and smart watches in the market. And which are, of course, a little more affordable. So what gives Apple the edge? I know you're an Apple fan, but for maybe for somebody who's not so technologically savvy, would you still recommend an Apple Watch, or do you think they could perhaps go for a cheaper variant which would be available?
There's no doubt I'm an Apple fan, but as you rightly put out, there are a lot of watches available in the market. In fact, I myself wear a Fitbit Versa 2, which is again a great fitness watch. But then what differs from other watches and Apple Watch is that Apple Watch is not just about fitness. It's a smart watch put together. It's a smart fitness watch. Now with added features like SpO2 sensors and all-time altimeters and whatnot. It has become even better fitness watch. It was always a great smartwatch. Now it's become a better fitness watch also. Now all the other watches in the market, the smartwatches in the market, they can't do so many things that Apple Watch can do. You can't unlock your car. For example, if you have a BMW latest series, you can unlock your car with that watch. You can't do that. And also with the family plan activation that Apple has announced, that means your kid can be wearing an Apple Watch and he will be under your supervision always under school time and all those features that they've included. You don't even have to give him a phone, but you can still communicate with your child. You can also monitor his sleep, monitor his health. So these things are lacking from other smartwatch manufacturers that we have, already in the market. So these little things that Apple does, inclusions of these features and these family thing, and completing the Apple One plan, all these things really make it a must-have product, to be honest.
Okay. Nikhil, what's your view on some of these mid-range phones that are going to be launched in this week? We already do have the we have the Oppo Reno, which is a MS Dhoni special edition. I mean, of course, that's more from a marketing perspective. That's expected to launch on the 17th of September. There's another one that's going to launch on the 22nd of September. This one's by Poco X3. Mid-level phones. What's your view on these two phones that are expected to be launched this week?
As I mentioned, during the festive season, we'll see a lot of launches. We'll see a lot of smart devices coming in. There are quite a few devices that I'm testing, which I'm under embargo, which I can't talk about. Again, they're under 15-20,000 K segment. But again, great devices coming up. When you talk about MS Dhoni edition, that's to, capture the IPL mood and, get that going, because IPL is just around the corner. And we know that it's like MS Dhoni has retired and it's just this IPL that he's playing. So obviously a lot of fan following he has, and that is something that the brand is trying to catch upon. Poco X3, again, Poco is got a lot of cult following for itself. Other than Xiaomi is like a masses thing, but Poco has a cult following. So again, Poco launches great devices at very, very competitive pricing. So it will be great to see both these devices and a lot more coming, as I mentioned. Really, really competitive few weeks.
Okay. Well, so I guess a better idea would be to also wait for the festive season. If your phone's on the verge of dying, just try and, stretch it out a little. We'll be having those big billion days and what have you, Prime Day, etc. as well. And, you're going to have much more to choose from. And, I'm sure we'll get Nikhil on board again to make an option from the plenty that will be available. Nikhil, thanks so much for joining us today. And yes, I hope as well that you get your hands on those Apple products so you can once again, review them for us and for your viewers. On that note, we'll wrap it up on The Money Show. Thank you for watching.